The first time I was in Haiti was in 1997, and I went with a group from church I was working with in Sioux City, but also a bunch of students and adult leaders from across Iowa. It was the first time a group from Iowa went into this part of the country. I knew I was going to see poverty, but I didn't really know what third world poverty was really like. So my first experience, it kind of broke me. I didn't know people lived in a condition like that, and not just poverty in terms of their homes were poor, they didn't have a lot of money, but everything about their life, of course, physically, but also people were sick and malnourished, eating one meal a day maybe. Here we met people that were not successful by American standards at all, but were also experiencing joy and being happy too. I've just been drawn to go back to this country many times since then. Children that are malnourished in Haiti are the kids that you see that have the big round tummies, and it means actually the exact opposite of what you would think. A big round tummy doesn't mean they're fat and happy with lots of food in their tummy, but it means that they aren't. They're starving to death, and because of that, it starts to change how they look to their skin color, and becomes very ashen, and their hair begins to actually turn orange. And we saw a number of kids that would have almost looked like dreadlocks, long hair that was matted and was actually bright orange, and that was a sign of malnourishment. They would sell what looked like little cakes, but the cakes were made of mud and maybe just a little tiny bit of flour or something like that, and they were sold very, very cheap. And people would buy them because that was the only thing they could afford. They couldn't afford vegetables, they couldn't afford the produce, the fresh stuff that was there, and they couldn't buy any meat or anything like that, but they could afford these mud cakes, and they were literally made out of mud. People that were just couldn't fight off things, different types of things that we'd get a cold and well, you'd get better in a couple of days. These were life-threatening things, and the hospitals were packed with people that didn't have some rare exotic disease, but had just some simple thing that for us, we go see a doctor and we get better really quickly, but there it was a matter of life and death. The support that we send down to our friends in Haiti, they've been doing so many great things. They have just in recent years have built a school, so those kids who haven't been going to school before who are now going to school. That's a school they want to keep expanding. Right now it's just serving some of the younger children in that community. So the more support that they can get, the more classes that they're going to be able to offer, the more teachers they're going to be able to hire. They've also started kind of a university. It's just brand new. They don't really have students in it yet, but they're just finishing up building it, and they hope to actually train kids who are graduating, who are older kids who are ready to start working, and they want to train them in some different skills. And they also have agricultural programs. They're teaching people how to grow food. Food that can sustain them, how to start little gardens, and how to actually raise produce that they can bring to the markets on weekends and sell, and also trying to help people and learning how to start their own businesses, so financing micro businesses. There's so many wonderful things that they're doing there in so many different ways. They are literally impacting an entire community, an entire part of Haiti, and is starting to have ripple effects out into other areas, and they have big dreams, and we're excited to be a part of it. One of the first trips that I went on, I remember sitting down with the folks there and saying, you know, it takes a lot of money for us to come, for a team to come down to Haiti. Wouldn't you rather we just stayed in Iowa and we just sent all the money to you, and couldn't you do so much more? And they said, no way. We need you to come. one of the best gifts really that you can give us is yourselves and your time. And I guess we've learned over the years now that those relationships, being able to go down and see them again, and even sometimes for them to come and visit us, is an amazing and a beautiful thing and a powerful thing. It's developing those relationships. They're real people that we really know, and we know their lives, we know where they live, we know their kids' names, the names of their extended families, and really what their ministries are all about. So for us to be able to go, sure, it's fun for us and exciting for us, but we have learned that it's a real blessing for them too, and they have always asked us to keep coming back and keep sending other people to meet them and to get to know them and to be representatives for them and what they're doing there, here, with our families and with our friends and within our community.